Happy Saturday. I don't know when it started recording. It was a little bit glitchy. But happy Saturday. It's a beautiful day. I think it's like 10, 0 out. My glass is fogging and our large window is all frozen up. I know the lighting's a little weird. It's like half of my face is dark and half is light, but it is what it is. I'm wearing my Green Lantern shirt very proudly. I bought one for my nephew. And when he turns 4, he'll actually fit in it. Right now we could put it on him, tie the bottom, and he wouldn't be able to walk around. It would be awesome. But his mom won't let me do it. So I know this will be week 3, 2 weeks without a video, and I apologize for that. I've been to Miami, South Beach, and then after a really awesome Tuesday of seeing half-naked people everywhere because it was in the 80s, I stuck myself into a conference hall from about 8 o'clock in the morning, one morning 7 o'clock, until about 10, 11 o'clock. And by the time that was all done and I got home and it was Saturday, I was like, this isn't happening. So I apologize. But what I meant to talk about a very, very long time ago is I wanted to talk about writer's block. Because a lot of us get writer's block. But what I'm going to tell you is there's no such thing as writer's block. The best way to get through it is to write. Gee golly, Paul, we never thought of that. You have to write through writer's block? Yes. So, I have my methods for writing through writer's block because ultimately what happens is when we write a story, we're going in one direction. But you don't have just one story. You've got hundreds of stories at least. Let's say a dozen at least. But we see the one that we are working on and we want to set forward on it. But there are several paths. I mean, we've got our non-primary characters who have stories of their own that we're not telling. We can write about those. We've got entire histories that we aren't telling. We can write about those. So the two things that I'm going to show you that I was doing for Kelsinane, which I'm not writing Kelsinane anymore. Actually, the more I think about it, the more it might actually become a Juke Pop series. So if you haven't, check out Juke Pop Serial. I am on there as well through my Facebook, Paul R. Davis. So if you want to check that out, go for it. I've linked it before. I have a story on there. It's only 1 chapter. I need to write more chapters and start updating that on like a weekly basis. That's my goal. So, but the first thing in order to get through writer's block is sometimes writer's block really is a symptom that we haven't fleshed out, but we should have, as well as we should have. So I've got note cards, and on the note cards are different tidbits of information about the world: calendar, people, places, how magic works. So I've got a stack of note cards, and I know it skips some. It's because my computer sucks, but the audio should still be going unabated. I just put that nice little clip on it, and I can take these note cards wherever I go. This also helps because if you are out somewhere, I travel a lot. So if I'm traveling off I'll be in North Carolina in 2 weeks. When I'm in North Carolina, it's not going to be meetings from 8 until 11 o'clock at night. So I'm going to have some free time. So I'll go into my room. I can take my note cards easily, and I'll just jot down information on the note cards that I really want to see in there. I'll flesh out characters that haven't been fleshed out. And you never know what type of storylines that's going to give you or what type of deviations from the plot line you'll get. So, note cards, miraculous. And they're pretty cheap. And you've got all of these writing things for the computer, and I bought one. And it's brilliant. I bought Storybook, which does a great job. It's beautiful. But when I'm down here typing, and I type in the information to that, and then I type the information into Word, I feel redundant. I feel like if I'm on my computer, I should be writing my story. I shouldn't be writing what I need to write my story. I can do that on note cards or a notebook or anything else when I'm randomly anywhere other than in front of my computer. Now, the other thing that I am doing with Kelsinane is there. There we go. A buddy of mine got me a leather-bound journal. I think it's real leather, I'm pretty sure, for my birthday. And inside, it's The History of Mercer by Celst of Callistus. Celst is the main character of Celst and Ain. Ain is still a main character, but I am pretty sure it's going to end up being all through the viewpoint of Celst. And in here I've got a foreword by Celst, and Celst writes it as a textbook, more or less, for the kids of the town that he and Ain started. And as he's writing it, he goes through, well, this is the scripture. Here's a brief understanding of our, basically, Bible. Here is the different types of magic. Here are the kingdoms, the Voldenic kingdom and the Asians up in the jungle. Here are some of the mythologies of how creation started, or the Diots, which are gods of the land. And it's just got a lot of different information on the world, but not through just my eyes, but through Celst's eyes. Because through my eyes it looks very different, because I know very different things than Celst does, and I don't want those to seep into Celst's name, because they're not supposed to. So get yourself a pretty journal like this, and it will do you wonders. You don't have to be, I am writing a lot, because ultimately this book will become a source book for so many other stories that are coming up for me, because Mercer, the land that Celst and Ain takes place in, isn't just for Celst and Ain. I mean, during Celst and Ain, it's one of the most pivotal moments in Mercer's history. It's probably the most pivotal, because it's their salvation moment. More or less, Celst and Ain is happening. It'd be like reading a story about someone living in Jerusalem at the time Christ was around. That's kind of what they would be, except a lot more violent and with zombies and magic and vampires. But not sparkly, stupid vampires, real vampires that are scary and intimidating. Anyway, next time what I'm going to talk about are some other ways that I get past writer's block. I have a lot of different methods. I did take a lot of classes for it when I was young and supple and pretty and had hair. So tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit more about, not tomorrow, next week, Saturday. I promise I'll be here. I'm going to talk more about using different methods that were used a long time ago for divination in order to create your story. Because divination basically was telling someone a story. And your job using divination to tell a story is to have it come up with the story you want to write. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them on my WordPress or on my YouTube. I don't check my YouTube very often, but I do check it. I swear, I will check it when I upload this video for the first time in 3 weeks. So otherwise, have a beautiful day. I hope it is warmer where you are than where I am, and blessings.